On March 3, 2023, Philadelphia was rocked by a devastating car bomb that exploded just outside a bustling courthouse, shattering the calm of an ordinary morning and sending shockwaves through the city. The aftermath resembled a war zone more than a city street. Smoke billowed into the sky, debris littered the pavement, and the sounds of sirens echoed off the buildings. The explosion was a calculated strike in a bitter gang feud, claiming one life, injuring over a dozen, and shattering the city's sense of security. In an instant, the courthouse district was transformed from a place of order to a scene of chaos and fear. Witnesses described a deafening blast that rattled windows blocks away, followed by a wall of flames and chaos as people fled in terror. The acrid smell of burning rubber and twisted metal lingered in the air, a grim reminder of the violence that had just erupted. The courthouse, a symbol of justice and stability, became a landscape of fear. Its windows were shattered, court proceedings halted in an instant, and the building itself scarred by the force of the blast. Panic swept the streets as crowds surged away from the epicenter, with pedestrians running for their lives, unsure if more violence would follow. The fear was palpable, spreading like wildfire through the city's heart. The attack was a deliberate assault on law and order, sending a chilling message. Nowhere was safe from gang warfare's reach. Police and SWAT teams quickly locked down the area, searching for suspects and trying to restore a sense of control. The city's morning routine was violently interrupted, replaced by shock, confusion, and a deep sense of vulnerability. Bystanders watched in disbelief as emergency crews worked to help the injured and secure the scene. By targeting a courthouse, the perpetrators aimed not just at a rival, but at the very system meant to protect the community. The attack struck at the heart of Philadelphia's justice system, leaving a scar that would not soon heal. The bombing exposed how deeply gang rivalries could spill into public life, leaving Philadelphia to question its safety and the strength of its institutions. News crews captured the fear and uncertainty etched on residents' faces as the story unfolded. What began as an ordinary day ended with a city forever changed, its people left to pick up the pieces and brace for what might come next. The echoes of that morning would linger, a stark reminder of how quickly life can be upended. The aftermath was devastation. Twisted metal, shattered glass, and the acrid smell of smoke lingering in the air. The blast had ripped through the heart of the city, leaving behind a scene of utter destruction that would haunt witnesses for years to come. Debris was scattered across the courthouse district, with chunks of masonry and glass littering the sidewalks. The once busy streets were now eerily silent, save for the distant wail of sirens and the shouts of first responders. The bombs forced damage nearby buildings and cars, leaving the courthouse scarred and the city paralyzed. Emergency vehicles rushed to the scene, weaving through the chaos to reach the wounded and assess the damage. The intended target was killed instantly. The attack was swift and merciless, leaving no chance for escape. The loss was immediate and irreversible. Over a dozen others were wounded, some severely. Paramedics worked frantically, tending to victims on the pavement, their uniforms stained with blood and dust. Witnesses, traumatized, described confusion and terror as people fell and chaos erupted. Many ran for cover, unsure if another blast would follow, while others froze in shock, unable to process the horror unfolding before them. The courthouse shut down, legal proceedings halted, and the area was cordoned off, causing massive disruption. Businesses closed, traffic gridlocked, and the city's daily rhythm was shattered in an instant. Thousands of lives were upended in moments. Commuters were stranded, families separated, and the sense of normalcy evaporated as the city struggled to comprehend the scale of the attack. The attack's impact rippled far beyond the blast zone, instilling fear and uncertainty citywide. Anxiety spread as rumors circulated, and people questioned whether anywhere was truly safe. This was no back-alley feud, it was a public, indiscriminate assault on civic authority. The message was clear: no one, not even the institutions meant to protect, was immune from violence. The bombing marked a new, terrifying chapter in gang violence, with collateral damage and psychological scars left behind. The community's pain was visible in every shattered window and every tearful embrace. Residents wondered, was this the start of a new wave of violence? Conversations in homes and on street corners were filled with fear and uncertainty about what might come next. Philadelphia's collective sense of safety was shattered, replaced by a lingering unease that would not soon fade. Within minutes, the city was alive with the sound of sirens, echoing through the night and signaling the arrival of help. Police, firefighters, and paramedics converged on the scene, moving with urgency and purpose as they navigated the chaos. Officers quickly secured the area, setting up barricades and guiding panicked civilians to safety. They aided the injured, offering reassurance and first aid, while establishing a perimeter to prevent further harm and keep the public out of danger. Specialized units, including the bomb squad and forensic teams, arrived in protective gear. They began their meticulous work amid the chaos, searching for evidence and ensuring there were no additional threats. Firefighters battled the flames, extinguishing the burning wreckage and preventing the fire from spreading to nearby buildings or vehicles. Paramedics and EMTs worked tirelessly, triaging victims and providing life-saving care on the spot. Their quick actions made the difference between life and death for many. Soon, federal agencies like the FBI and ATF joined local authorities, bringing their expertise in bomb investigations and crisis management to the scene. The collaboration between agencies was seamless. Each team played a vital role, sharing information and resources to ensure a coordinated response. The courthouse grounds, once a scene of chaos and confusion, were transformed into a controlled, methodical crime scene under the watchful eyes of law enforcement. Evidence tents were set up to protect crucial clues, while a mobile command center became the nerve center for the massive emergency effort. Authorities treated the bombing as an act of domestic terrorism, marshaling every available resource and working around the clock to find those responsible and bring them to justice. The city's emergency response was swift, unified, and determined, showing the strength and resilience of those who stand on the front lines in times of crisis. Investigators quickly determined the bombing was a targeted assassination in a violent gang feud. The victim, a high-ranking gang member, had been involved in a prior killing that sparked this brutal retaliation. The use of a car bomb marked a terrifying escalation, signaling a willingness to inflict mass casualties. Security footage captured a suspect fleeing the scene, providing a crucial lead. Witnesses corroborated the timeline, and the manhunt began immediately. Law enforcement focused on rival gang members with motive and means, executing search warrants and leveraging informants. The message from authorities was clear: this level of violence would not be tolerated. Every resource was dedicated to tracking down the perpetrators and dismantling their network. The stakes had never been higher for the city. Forensic analysis revealed the bomb was expertly built, far beyond a typical street weapon. Its construction suggested military-grade knowledge, raising alarms about the gang's access to skilled bomb makers. The device was designed for maximum destruction, strategically placed to ensure lethal impact. Investigators considered whether the gang had recruited someone with explosives training or outsourced to a criminal specialist. The FBI and ATF traced chemical signatures, hoping to identify the bomb's origin and builder. The use of such a weapon marked a dangerous evolution in gang tactics, blurring the line between organized crime and terrorism. The bomb was a chilling statement of power, forever altering Philadelphia's criminal landscape. In response, authorities formed a multi-agency task force, Philadelphia Police, FBI, and ATF, combining resources and expertise. Their mission: identify the bombers and dismantle the network behind them. The FBI provided intelligence and surveillance, the ATF traced explosives, and local detectives contributed deep gang knowledge. A joint operations center enabled real-time information sharing and rapid action. Targeted raids and arrests followed, disrupting the gang's operations and weakening their support. Though the main suspects initially evaded capture, relentless pressure closed in. The unified front sent a clear message: organized crime would face the full force of justice. The bombing left Philadelphia gripped by anxiety and fear. Public spaces felt unsafe. Even routine noises triggered panic. Security at courthouses and government buildings was dramatically increased. Barriers, armed guards, and restricted parking became the new normal. These measures, while necessary, served as constant reminders of the threat. Community leaders demanded not just law enforcement, but investment in programs to address the roots of gang violence. The legal system itself felt the impact. Judges, lawyers, and jurors now faced heightened risks. The attack on the courthouse was an attack on the rule of law, casting a shadow over the administration of justice. The fear of retaliation extended to all who worked within the justice system. Philadelphia's sense of safety and trust was deeply shaken. The bombing was the climax of years of escalating gang violence in Philadelphia. Gang conflicts had grown more personal and deadly, with attacks becoming increasingly sophisticated. The use of a car bomb signaled a willingness to adopt terrorist tactics, disregarding public safety. Law enforcement struggled to keep pace, often reacting after the fact. The bombing was a wake-up call for a more proactive, comprehensive strategy. Other incidents, like the 2025 arrest of Kevin Krebs with a pipe bomb, underscored the region's broader security challenges. Residents felt besieged by overlapping threats, gang wars, and extremism alike. The violence was no longer confined. It threatened the entire community and reshaped daily life. Public demand for effective solutions grew urgent as fear became a constant companion. The 2023 courthouse bombing was a turning point, forcing Philadelphia to rethink its approach to crime and security. The attack exposed the limits of old strategies and sparked a new era of multi-agency collaboration and intelligence-driven policing. Security infrastructure was upgraded, police presence increased, and surveillance technologies deployed citywide. Community programs targeting the roots of gang violence gained new urgency. The memory of the bombing remains, a reminder of the city's vulnerability and the need for vigilance. The challenge now is to balance robust security with the city's open, vibrant character. Philadelphia's future depends on rebuilding trust and safety, not just preventing attacks. The tragedy revealed deep problems but also inspired determined action. The city is more prepared and united, resolved to never let such violence happen again. Philadelphia remains unsettled, but its resolve is stronger than ever.